Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to our Joseki series. My name is Ryan, and today I will show you 5 josekis for 1 to 2 dan players. And today we're going to talk about the 3-4 here with white doing the high approach. Now this is actually very common, and I've seen a lot of games where black actually plays this outer attachment. Now this attachment is somewhat common for players between these levels. So today we're going to talk all about this. So when black attaches here, the most common response for white to do is the hane. Now black has 2 choices. So the first one is that black pulls back here. And the calmest way for white to respond is to either connect or play the tiger's mouth. Now there's a subtle difference between these 2 moves, and you will see in a second. So if white connects, then this attachment becomes quite severe. So it's crucial for black to play this kosumi to defend the corner, and then white jumps. So in this variation, white is very oriented towards the center, while black takes some territory. Now if black had stone somewhere over here, then usually black would respond by adding another move to make this solid. And the other one is if white plays here. So this move is a bit tricky. It's not as common as connecting, and it's not as direct. So here, when this is the tiger's mouth, this attachment is not as severe. So here, black does not necessarily have to follow up by playing in the corner, but black can play in the corner, and it would end like this. So this is another almost end result of this local variation here. But the other option that black has if white plays this tiger's mouth is black could hane here, and then double hane. So the general rule is that if white doesn't want black to develop on this side, then white should connect, because playing the tiger's mouth gives black the option of playing this. So if white connected and black played here, later this attachment is very severe and very big for the corner. Okay, so that's the response if white hanes here and black pulls back. So if we step back a few moves. So now for this attachment, after this hane actually, there's another possibility, another option for white. And that's when white has either stone over here or the ladder. And if white does, white has the option of attaching directly. So actually this is not very intuitive, because this shape looks very weak. So it looks like there should be something in here that if black hanes, white should be in trouble, right? But actually this is a trap by white. So black actually cannot hane here, because after the cut, there's a lack of follow-up moves. So actually the correct move for black now is to cut here. And then white descends. And then black extends this way. So the reason why white has to have the ladder is because now white playing in the corner is very big, right? It secures the corner, settles the group, and this is the very crucial move now. But then if black laddered the stone, then this would not be a good result for white. So if white has a stone here, then black would usually just extend on the side and basically expand on the sides while white has taken the corner. Another thing to be careful about is in this shape, black should extend this way and not block. And the reason for that is if black blocks and white hanes, then white could play the tiger's mouth here. And that way, now even though black could get this atari, but the point of this is after all of these exchanges, white doesn't have to spend another move in the corner anymore. So actually, even though black block this down, black has essentially lost a move in doing so. So that's why it's usually not good to block there. Okay. So then that's the second Joseki. Okay, and the other very common variation that I see a lot in games is when white hanes here, black actually extends. So this is almost like the another Joseki, but in this case there's no stone on that side. So after white played this move, white has two options here. The first one being white playing this extension on the side. So after this extension, black takes the 3-3 corner, and then white gets sente. Even though white gets sente, black has more territory, and this shape is actually really weak. Even though black cannot punish white directly in here, but it's also very difficult for white to make any territory inside. Because if white defends on this side, there are a lot of weaknesses on the outside. So in this shape, even though white takes sente, it's still regarded as more or less even result. And the other more complicated variation is white hanes in here. Now this move doesn't always work because, especially if black has a stone here. So black would cut and then extend. So this is usually not a good option. But of course it depends on the surroundings, like I've always advertised that when you pick Joseki, you should always consider your surroundings. So white extends a few times and then descends here. So if black has a stone in this area, white cannot push and cut. So that's when this doesn't really work, because if white descends here, black can turn, or later, and the outside is very big. And in comparison, the corner value isn't as big. So usually it's not played that way. And the other thing is, if white pushes and cuts, it's actually not necessarily good for white either. Now this fight is a bit complicated. It ends up being that black actually lives these two stones in the corner, and then white has a weak group here, and so it's difficult for white in this situation, and I don't advise choosing this Joseki. So the normal move for white is just to descend, but this result is regarded as slightly better for black. So be careful when choosing this Joseki. So the last Joseki and also the most complicated version is actually when white attaches into the corner directly now. So this is very interesting because it actually it goes very there's a lot of variations here. So I will go over some simple ones. Now the very simple one is black extending here. So if black does that, then white would play the tiger's mouth, and then black would play here. Now this is locally not good for black, obviously, because white has taken the corner very easily. So only if black has very good development over to this side could black choose this variation. So the other one is if black ataris here. Now this you might notice, you might recognize this one from the recent games because this looks very like the 3-3 invasion from the start point. Now if you guys like that, I could actually do a full video to explain all about the 3-3 invasion. So now this reverts back to the 3-3 invasion when white hanes and then cuts here. So black extends and white connects, and then black plays the tiger's mouth. So actually this becomes, there's another branch here now. So if white doesn't have the ladder, then white has to play the hane and connect, and then black takes the vital point here. So this variation is regarded slightly better for black. because the corner is not as big and black has most of the outside here. The problem is if white has the ladder, then actually white could hane and then play this move. So of course if this gets laddered, then this doesn't work. But if white has the ladder, this becomes a very complicated fight now. So black has that option. And the last option that black has is to Atari this way. So this is somewhat more common, is when white extends and black extends this way. So then white hanes here, and black hanes, and then white connects. Black extends here, and then white needs to now go back and live in the corner. And then the hane and connect. Right, so here, it looks like black is in a little bit of a trouble because you see all these stones are on the second line and white still got to live. But the thing is, after black connects here, white has to spend another move in the corner. So that's why this is still acceptable for black as well. So when white spends another move, black takes sente and can now take advantage of the fight here. Also, this move is connecting. It's not the tiger's mouth because connecting is stronger for the center. So with the tiger's mouth, because this Atari is sente, it's more difficult to attack these 4 stones in the center. So I wanted to make that extinction. Okay, there you have it. So that was a very full Joseki series. If you have any questions about today's Joseki problems, leave us a comment below and go to our website. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe below. I am Ryan Lee. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.